AI adoption, a surprising reality that's raising eyebrows, and maybe a few alarms. Picture this, we're in an era where artificial intelligence is hailed as the next big revolution, popping up in everything from smartphones to sci-fi dreams. But here's the bombshell, most folks aren't diving into AI as deeply as you'd imagine. Instead, they're just scratching the surface. And for those who are deep in the game, well, buckle up, because they often share some truly unsettling personality quirks that might make you rethink your tech habits. But here's where it gets controversial. Is AI a magnet for the dark side of human nature, or does it somehow amplify it? Stick around, we're about to unpack this fascinating and a bit alarming discovery. AI might be the buzzword of the century, sparking endless debates about its role in our jobs, creativity, and daily lives. New apps and tools emerge almost every day, promising to streamline everything from writing emails to designing art. Yet, according to a groundbreaking study published in Cyberpsychology, Behavior, and Social Networking, available at https://www.libertpub.com/doi/10.1177/21522515251379987, the reality is far less enthusiastic. As summarized in a detailed SciPost article, https://www.psypost.org/most-people-rarely-use-ai-and-dark-predict-who-uses-it-more. AI accounts for less than 1% of most people's online activity. That's right, even with all the hype, it's barely making a dent in how we surf the web or interact digitally. Emily McKinley, a PhD candidate at the University of California, Davis, and a key contributor to the research, expressed her astonishment, saying, "We were genuinely surprised by how infrequent AI use was, even among students who typically serve as early adopters of emerging technologies." This low adoption rate flies in the face of predictions, but not everyone's on the sidelines. Some individuals are heavy users, and their frequent engagement with AI correlates with what McKinley describes as aversive personality traits, qualities that could signal deeper issues. If you're someone who loves tinkering with AI tools, this might be something to reflect on. And this is the part most people miss: these traits aren't random, they're linked in ways that hint at broader psychological patterns. Digging deeper, the study highlights 3 specific personality traits commonly seen in those who frequently use AI. These aren't just minor quirks, they're part of what's known as the dark triad, a cluster of 3 interconnected, less desirable personality dimensions that psychologists study. Think of it like a trio of shadowy traits that prioritize self-interest over empathy or cooperation. For beginners, understanding these can help demystify why certain people behave in particular ways online. Let's break them down one by one, with explanations to make it clearer. Machiavellianism. First up is Machiavellianism, a trait inspired by the writings of Niccolò Machiavelli, the Italian philosopher whose book The Prince laid out ruthless strategies for power and politics. As defined by Psychology Today, https://www.psychologytoday.com/us/basics/Machiavellianism. Machiavellianism involves being manipulative, deceitful, and highly self-centered, often viewing others as mere tools to achieve personal goals. In simpler terms, someone with this trait might scheme to get ahead, even if it means bending rules or misleading people. It's one of the dark triad's core elements, and unfortunately, it's more prevalent among those who use AI extensively. For example, imagine someone using AI to craft convincing fake stories or manipulate data. It could align with this calculating mindset. Why might this matter? These individuals might leverage technology not for innovation, but for personal gain, raising questions about ethics in AI. Related, 3 harmless things people quietly judge you for, even though they'd never admit it. https://www.yourtango.com/self/harmless-things-people-quietly-judge-never-admit. Narcissism. Next on the list is narcissism, a trait many of us can spot in everyday life. think of that friend who always turns conversations back to themselves. But let's clarify, according to Psychology Today, https://www.psychologytoday.com/basics/narcissism. Narcissism isn't about being overly confident or insecure. It's more about a deep craving for admiration, attention, and special treatment, as if one deserves to be the star of the show. Most people fall somewhere in the middle of this spectrum, but those at the higher end feel entitled and self-absorbed. As another piece of the dark triad, narcissism shows up frequently in avid AI users. For instance, someone might use AI-generated content to showcase their genius ideas, seeking validation rather than collaborating. This could explain why some tech enthusiasts seem overly focused on self-promotion in online communities. Related, if you're easily annoyed by this one thing, science says you're basically a creative genius. https://www.yourtango.com/self/science-says-creative-genius-annoyed-1-thing. Psychopathy. Finally, we have psychopathy, the third trait in the dark triad. Health writer Brittany Loggins, from Very Well Mind, https://www.verywellmind.com/what-is-the-personality-5217146, describes it as involving antisocial behaviors, like a lack of empathy, remorse, or even impulse control. There's a distinction between clinical psychopaths, where these traits severely disrupt all aspects of life, and subclinical ones, where the effects are milder but still present. People with psychopathic tendencies are often skilled at deception and manipulation, making them hard to spot. And yes, this trait pops up in those who frequently engage with AI. A controversial take here: could AI's ability to generate convincing outputs appeal to someone who thrives on outsmarting others? It's a thought-provoking idea that challenges us to consider if technology is empowering these traits or merely revealing them. What's intriguing is that the researchers didn't just note these traits in isolation, they observed that frequent AI users often exhibit a combination of them, suggesting they're interconnected. However, the study didn't delve into the why behind this connection, it was more of an observation. More investigation is needed to explore whether AI attracts people with these dispositions or if prolonged use somehow fosters them. This ambiguity is where things get really debatable. Does the tech itself encourage manipulative behavior, or are certain personalities drawn to it? More for you. Related, people who begin using ChatGPT like an emotional support animal usually have these three reasons. https://www.yourtango.com/self/people-using-chat-GPT-emotional-support-animal-have these reasons. In wrapping this up, it's clear that while AI isn't dominating everyone's digital life, its heavy users might share these concerning traits from the dark triad. But let's stir the pot. Is this a cause for alarm, or just a correlation we shouldn't overstate? Could AI be a tool that amplifies existing human flaws, or does it offer a neutral platform that reflects our true selves? What do you think? Are you surprised by these findings, or do you disagree that personality plays such a big role in tech adoption? Share your opinions in the comments below. I'd love to hear if this resonates with your experiences or if you've got a counterpoint.